Nobody gets pregnant more or have kids more than people that are struggling. If you are struggling, what will make you think, yeah, like, let's have a baby? Like, what? Men and women, what will make you do that? Like, I can barely feed the kids I got. I can barely feed myself. I don't have a car. I don't have a job. But let me just have a baby real quick. What will make you do that? Like, what really do be wrong with people? People who struggle, I swear they have the most kids. Like, on TikTok, when you see people struggling, they be having like 4 or 5 kids. What will make you do that? Why raise a child in a struggling environment when you can't give them no type of life, no type of good life? Like, why do y'all do that? I really don't get it. Like, they'll be like, yeah, I'm homeless, I'm pregnant. What? How did this even happen? How did you even get like aroused enough to even have a baby homeless? Like, if I'm homeless, I'm focused. Like, it's just no way. Like, we gotta stop that. Stop having kids if you're struggling. Like, what's so hard about that?
Okay. So
She
financially struggling people
Because
stop
the
having
left has
kids.
their back.
We'll let Megan go first. Hold on, because Megan ain't saying nothing. Megan and then
I
Marvel.
know. I feel like the conversation just keeps jumping everywhere. So I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Go ahead. You and then Marvel.
So I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of friends that have had babies, and they just do it for the money, for the food stamps, for welfare, for Section 8. They'll just keep having kids, knowing that they can't afford it. But they'll take it, from the government and everything like that. There's a lot of women like that that really don't give shit about, that. But I mean, they want to keep having babies, then there's nothing we can really do about it.
No, but do you think that struggling people financially should be having kids?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. But I don't know. Like I said, I mean, that's just I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we know that goes to men and women. Men shouldn't be impregnating women if they are broke. Yeah, here we go. Men shouldn't be. And so we got to talk about what sex look like. Women just ain't DJing themselves and getting pregnant. Okay, so men who don't have no money and who are not established, who does not have a career, who does not have any goals, who does not have a plan to be a family man, should not be penetrating, punani and impregnating a woman, and a woman should not be allowing herself to even be sleeping with a man who do not have those things in order and allowing themselves to get pregnant. So if you do not have a lifestyle which sets up a child and or children for success, unfortunately, you are not a good candidate for even casual sex. Because at this point, people don't even know how to be irresponsible with sex without, not wanting to complain about the consequences.
Most men are not doing that.
Let me ask Dylan a question. Dylan, if you get pregnant tomorrow, who chooses to have the baby?
If I got pregnant, my boyfriend and I, because it's not a choice of me.
No. Who gets to decide if you get to have that baby out of your body?
Oh, well, physically, I will have that choice because the fetus or fetuses will be in my womb. So physically, I can disregard my partner's feelings, maybe even disregard my own feelings, and decide if I want to pursue the pregnancy or if I choose to abort. But because myself am smart and intelligent and I respect my man, and I hear my man, and
we're not talking about that part. So you
I'm just letting it be known. That's important to know, because when you're sleeping with somebody and already don't have a care in the world how they feel,
a lot of people don't respect themselves because who they sleep with. So let's just say women, they make the choice if they want to have that baby.
That's true.
So why are these women choosing to not only have sex but have a baby when not only they're struggling, but the men might be struggling? It's a choice. It falls back on the women. Because what?
That goes back to that accountability part.
I can say that, to Megan's point, that is true. Women are incentivized to have multiple children. They're rewarded with different things needed in order to provide for those children. And let me just say this real quick. My grandmother's mom had 7 children. By the time she started at 12, okay? Now she dead and gone, so I don't feel bad about telling her business. And I remember asking my grandma, I said, if granddaddy and her was poor and they lived in a cabin in the wood, Why did they have so many children? And my grandmother said it was nothing else to do back then. So I look at it now in today's society, when you don't have any ambition, when you don't know what you want to do with your life, you fall victim to your natural feeling
Primary need, yeah.
it's inappropriate, and you just disregard that times are different. There are more consequences that you face when you have children and you're broke and you're poor. You don't even have a plan on how you're going to get yourself up out of sticky waters.
I think
So
it's the lack of
Men ain't doing that.
accountability. When there are women that have, like Megan was saying, having multiple kids and they're getting incentivized to have kids that are on welfare, Section 8, whatever the case may be, people are not holding women accountable. And even the women that aren't on Section 8 and welfare, they're depending on friends and family to help them.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
the mother or the grandmother saying,
They
hey,
just
you
don't
need
care.
to stop. Hey, you need to close your legs. Hey, I'm personally against birth control just from a different experience, but you're not on birth control. There's Flow app now. You can track your ovulation. You can track your cycle. There should be no reason why you're sitting up here laying up with a nigga that ain't gonna take care of you or your kids that you keep pushing out for them. It's the women not being held accountable. Yes, the men are out here giving broke D to every woman in the neighborhood, but at the end of the day, the woman is allowing him to do that. She has access to her body, and she's allowing him access to her body. So
But if the
we need to
women,
hold
but if
women
a
more
woman
accountable,
has
whether that's
an
women.
abortion, you guys also
I was
complain
speaking.
Hold on,
about that too.
Izzy, let Jerry finish and then you can go. Then we'll get Marco in there.
People, yeah. So if women, even more women held other women accountable, then we wouldn't be having this issue. And like I think it was Lori and I were saying before, if you even mention something, it's like, oh, I'm so offended by what's being said. No, you need to hear what's being said. It doesn't matter who the messenger is, because at the end of the day, you need to stop laying down and having all these dang on kids that you can't take care of. So, yeah.
A lot of females.
Wait, let
I
Izzy,
also
Izzy
think
go.
that if or when a woman decides that she doesn't want to have a kid, or she decides to have an abortion, there's also complaints that, oh, you're K-wording the baby and all of that. So it's like damned if you do and damned if you don't. If she gives birth to the kid while you're struggling, which again, I'm not gonna like say they are right for that. Obviously, like that's crazy. But like Megan said, these women, American women, are having this case because the government has incentives to help them. You guys have welfare, Section 8, what do they call it? Week, I think that's what it is. They get so much things, like you don't even have to have money. You can just go to anywhere in the community and you can have things given to you for free. Diapers, food, clothes, all of these things. So I mean the women think that, you know what, even if I don't have any money or anything, I can literally just go here and I'll be able to get everything that I need. So why would they not want to have a baby, especially if they will be getting so much money for it? And then during tax season, they put all these babies as dependent, and they're getting like 10,000, 50,000, 20,000 back from tax returns. Like America is a great country, and you guys are giving all of these great things to people, especially women with kids. I don't think that they have any need to ever stop having those kids. And on the flip side, if they decide to have an abortion, it's also a problem because it's like, oh, you're okay, what in the fetus? There's no discipline from you not closing your legs,
Wait,
and
but
all of this.
Izzy, to go back to the question, do you think that financially struggling people should be
Mhm.
having kids?
Me personally, I don't think that they should be having kids. I don't think that. I feel like if you're financially unstable, you should not have kids. If you're mentally unstable, you should not have kids. If you don't have resources, you should not have kids. You shouldn't. But that's what I'm saying. The US has so much incentives. You guys have so much great things that help these people that are financially struggling, which in their head they're thinking, you know what, I'm not financially struggling if I have all of these things that I can get access to that helps me. No one would, I mean, if you have a kid and then you're able to have resources from several people, you can go online, GoFundMe page, all of these things, you can go on Instagram live and beg and people will give you money. Why would you ever stop? Why would you ever feel the need to not continue doing what you're doing? So there's no consequences for the action. And so I mean, I personally don't think so, but society obviously always seems to help these people, so they're always going to continue having kids.
So is the responsibility on the women to stop messing with these broke men?
Yes.
Yes.
If you're messing with a broke man, you're also a broke
I agree.
woman.
Well,
I mean,
I won't say that it's responsibility. We can say that women have more opportunity for that not to happen, but we can't say that it's 100% on the women. I can't look at it like that.
I think after the first time, it's
absolutely hold women accountable for what it looks like when they get pregnant, but I will never, I'm gonna die on that hill, dismiss the men that want to get you pregnant. Men know not how to get women pregnant, and they do it anyway.
Wait.
But
I feel like
unless it's rape,
who knows better how to get somebody pregnant, a woman or a man?
Well, women will know when they can get pregnant. The whole ovulation, women can track that. I think Jerry said that earlier.
Women can only get pregnant a certain time of the month.
Yep.
How do y'all get pregnant so easy? I just don't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Some women are very fertile, so
responsible with their own bodies, who don't take it into account, who don't care if a man is or if they're having sex with a man unprotected. They're not caring if they get impregnated and hoping that because that man is sleeping with you. A lot of women think that if a man sleeps with you without protection, that's his way of saying that he loves you, he cares about you, and it tops it off even more when he plants his seed. A lot of women think that a man show his love and devotion and commitment to you by doing the ultimate commitment, which is planting a child in you, and then not even caring if you have a relationship with this woman long enough to say, you know, well, I don't even know if I want to have a child with you. But to that woman, it's like, well, you already impregnated me. It must mean, you know what I mean? So it's like,
they get married first.
And that's on the woman.
Are these women like, don't they have?
Let's pass it to Marvel. Go ahead, Marvel. You ain't talk either.
I think just women just need to just close their legs. To be very honest, when it comes to that, for real, like it's. I do think that when it comes to if broke people need to, if they need to have kids, I don't necessarily think so, but I also think that there is a conflation when it comes to luxury versus necessity, if that makes sense. You know, we're in a stage and age where people want to, like, you know, keep up with the Joneses and, you know, parking lot pimping and all that. And that can actually get to attribute to that. So no, I don't think broke people should honestly, you know, should have kids at all. And
we say broke people, but then only talk about women. Men and women are people. So we're talking about what it looks like for women, and then we're talking about what it looks like for men. We always do that. We talk about the receiver in the garden, but we don't talk about the motherfucker plant. Excuse my language.
But I can't have sex with you unless you agree to, though.
But Dalen, women control pregnancy.
Don't most men make more money than women? So
true.
I don't think men are worrying about what a woman makes. But I think that
we don't care about the money. We don't care about money. That makes sense.
Yes, you guys do.
But men are thinking. But before men get in situations, men are thinking, okay, if I do something like this, the financial responsibility, the smart man. Now, most women are dealing with men that are raised by women. A masculine man ain't gonna bust that woman down, firstly. And also, I never hear men running around saying, oh, you know what, I want more babies. I've heard women say that. Men are usually thinking like, yo, like, if I do this, the accountability is coming. Like, I'm gonna have to be held accountable somehow, some way. But women are not usually thinking that. And Dalen, you just proved it. There's the accountability factor. And Q made a great point. Women 95% control the pregnancy aspect.
Well, that's true. What I was making, Lars, was that don't even impregnate the woman that you don't have a relationship with to give her the choice over what happens in your life. I'm not taking away accountability from the woman. I'm saying to the men, if you know you don't see anything long term with this woman, why put yourself in a position to where you are tied down to this issue for life? Why give somebody the choice of what your life is gonna be because you wanted to nut in a fat booty?
Yeah, but Dalen, if it's not forced, if the person didn't do something illegal and it's not a forced issue, then technically the woman has literally 95.7%.
It is all on her.
Control on that.
Yeah.
Because you make a great point, but at the end of the day, if it's not forced, end of the day, she has shut this down. She could, like, trust me. End of the day, is a lot of her control.
Women that have gone straight to the clinic soon as it opened. Women that will take their birth control pills every day. Women that are on the Nexplanon. Women that, you know, even I've heard from friends say, you know, their man practices, you know, the pull-out method, or that they use, you know, it's something. But, you know, I'm just, look, We know that women can get
Daquan, but Daquan doesn't have good judgment. If you know Daquan has bad judgment in every area of his life, why you let him practice the pull-out method?
I
I just think that is so. I just think that is so disingenuous. Go ahead, Q. I'm sorry.
I just want to say one thing. If it was able for men to get pregnant inside of women, I think men would be more responsible.
No, they would be the first ones at the abortion.
No. They would be more responsible. I think they wouldn't be having. I don't think they would be having kids. I don't think they would be having the same rate of kids of women of today. Let's just be honest. Okay.
Absolutely. Men will there's no fertilization. Hey, you come to my house when I'm not fertilizing.
If I get pregnant tomorrow, it is my fault. Only my fault.
It's a fault.
No, my fault.
If you didn't want to get pregnant,
my fault, my choice.
So you're saying that getting pregnant is a fault?
Yes, out of wedlock, it is a fault.
So why are you sleeping with somebody?
To me, it's a fault.
Well, why you having sex then? That's the real. We all know pregnancy it's not even a question unless we having sex. We're not talking about IVF, implantation, all that. We just talking about the old-fashioned natural way.
Okay, so we're shifting the point. So is it your fault if you get pregnant tomorrow? Is it your fault out of wedlock?
Yes.
I do have fault. I have my piece of responsibility for getting pregnant. Absolutely. Because if I didn't, I would have been on birth control. Or I would have used other forms of contraceptive. For sure.
But if you said no, we're not doing this tonight, then there's nothing. That's it. The dude has no chance. That's it.
That's true. But here's the thing. I'm glad you said that, Lars. But I think that if women did not give men sex, what would it look like in a world where most men are not having sex with the women? With women, I mean, where women are doing men a favor.
Most men are not having sex
before marriage, because when men approach women, they're offering meat before commitment. Anyway.
Did you hear what Marvel said? Most men
most men are having sex.
Most men are sexually deprived.
I've heard that from the Kevin Samuels thing. Most men are not having sex. You're not even talking about them, because if you can't even get sex when all these women are offering up their punani left and right for free.
No. These women are offering their pum to certain men, the same type of certain men. That's why women are having sex and having more babies than men. Look at the ratio.
Most of the women are having sex with the same men. That's what's happening.
I do agree that there are men that have multiple baby mamas, which is why you'll have more women that have.
I can break this down very quickly. The men and women that are reproducing with each other are coming from single mother-led homes. They relate to each other because they're most likely going to like if you come from a two-parent home, you're probably not going to be attracted to someone from a single-parent home as much, just based off relatability. And if the smallest percentage of men are reproducing with the same women, which type of households are they being raised in?
Well, I guess that's why they leaving the babies with the mama, because it's like I grew up
because they're raised the same way.
They're single mothers
because they're raised the same way.
Men see single parent flaws quicker. Men see single parent flaws much faster than women do.
But only men can create.
Look, I've been writing some notes down while everybody was talking, right? And the main thing is like low-level learners are reproducing with low-level learners and reproducing more low-level learners. I think that women and men need to take the advice that they would give their children when they're having a logical thought process as it pertains to pregnancy. Men and women raised by women have this problem the most. It's her body, her choice, his wallet, his voice. And when it comes down to it, when you look at which men got the multiple baby mamas and which women got the multiple baby daddies, that is not coming from two-parent homes. And if we know that 75 to 80% of women are having their children out of wedlock, well, who are they reproducing with? More likely, they're going to reproduce with the same pool of men that keep getting brought up. So at 80% to 16, that is a 5-to-1 ratio. So 5 women have their baby with the same man. And then another 59% out of that 80% are having their babies with 2 or more men. This and like what Marvel said, like the men that are sexually deprived, they make up over the 50% of men that are known to not have any children at all because they're not married and they're not in a relationship. And most men want to procreate with women within marriage.